Today we're talking about the #1 best way to make sure you are saving time and money as a backyard sugar maker. Hi, I'm Michelle Visser on the Solely Rested YouTube channel. I am also the owner of the award-winning blog of the same name and author of Sweet Maple Backyard Sugar Making from Tap to Table, which has ranked #1 in food science. I'm pretty happy about that. So today we are talking about reverse osmosis. Come on over with me. First of all, in case you stumbled upon this and have no idea what that mouthful means, reverse osmosis, I'll explain. It is actually the same thing that you might do every day under your kitchen sink. If you have a filter under your sink that filters out the impurities to give you the best quality water, it's the same idea, except we're doing it in reverse as sugar makers. We want to filter out the impurities and keep them. Because you see, to a sugar maker, if you are using reverse osmosis on your sap, then you are filtering out the sugar. And it's the good stuff that you want in order to make your syrup. So it's a pretty simple system. I'm going to show you the different parts. I also have a post that I've written in great detail that explains where you can source all of the parts and has a diagram of how you build it. It's been an extremely popular post because, I'll be honest, sugar making, it isn't cheap, guys. It is not a cheap hobby, that is for sure. There's a very good reason why maple syrup is an expensive all-natural sugar. It's hard to come by, and it requires a lot of time and a lot of fuel to make it. So anything we can do to cut down on both of those factors, on the time we have to spend boiling and on the cost of boiling, I mean, it is a win-win, am I right? Most people have told me that when they build this system, they earn back what it costs to build it within the first year. Of course, that depends on how many taps you have and how much how much syrup you're making. But basically, I mean, of course, costs will change over the years, and I'm hoping this video will be around a long time. But currently, it costs anywhere from $3 to $3.50 to build this system. And like I said, most people find that they earn that back in no time, because what it does is it at least doubles, if not quadruples, the sugar content of your sap in a very short time. And suddenly you have reduced your boiling time to 1/4 of what it would be, at least a half of what it would be. And that means you've reduced your need for propane or for wood to burn, whichever way you boil down your sap. It's a simple system. Everything to build it is something you can pick up on Amazon or at your local hardware store. Now, I shouldn't say it's simple, because to me, a non-mechanical person, I look at it and I go, I don't understand how that goes together, and I could never have built it. But Bill, who is a mechanic and a very engineering-minded kind of guy, designed this and put it together, and then he shared all the details with me so I could share it all with you. He took probably, one question people ask me is, how long did it take to build it? Honestly, the hard part is waiting for all the parts to arrive when you order them, because it probably took him less than 2 hours to assemble it all. Now me, it would take a lifetime. And then another question people ask is, how many filters? Do the filters need to run parallel or in a system? You definitely want them running in series, not parallel, because as it goes through, each filter is going to take out more and more of those impurities, or the sugars. So you want it to be in series. And you want your pressure to probably run around 80. That's something you want to play with and see what works best for your system, but we run it around 80 psi. And another really big question that I get often is, how long does it take to RO your sap? we find, and of course this is going to vary if you're not using maple sap, if you have a different tree that you tap, but we find for our maple sap that it takes about 45 minutes to process through 5 gallons of our sap. And we find, well, I'll just tell you for today. For today, we RO'd, we started at 1.5, I believe it was, and we ended up over 6 after it had run through our system one time. So we went from 1.5 to 6. What does that equal? I'm not really quick at math, but you get the idea. It's a really great increase in the sugar content, which is going to help us a ton when we go to boil it down. So here's our system. So right now it's off. It does make quite a sound when it's running, so I thought it'd be easiest to explain the parts to you when it's not running. This is the tubing that's coming right from our collection tank of sap, and it's bringing the sap right here. Well, first of all, you do need, I should tell you, a plug over here and a transformer connected to your pump. So the sap is coming through your pump, then it's going to go into your 5 micron filter. I'm having trouble, there we go, because the tub that was holding the sap is kind of in my way here. So the sap will go through the pump right into your micron filter, and then you have your gauge, and this is how you measure the pressure. This is where we look for around 80 psi. It's going to go then into your first of 4. You could just have 2 or 3. We have 4 here in a series. The first of your reverse osmosis membranes. Now, if you wanted to, you certainly could collect your sap that's coming right out of this first filter. You could, if you wanted to, you could collect that and see what it's measuring to know how much one filter is taking out of your sugar. We have it connected right back into the next one, of course, because we want it to keep going through, and then you're going to have less sugar in this batch of permeate that's coming out. Maybe I should tell you that permeate is what you call the sap after the sugar has been separated. So it's the pure water that's left. So the permeate that will come out of this 4th filter over here, this 4th reverse osmosis membrane, it's going to come out right here, and that is going to be your total permeate. If you want, you can absolutely drink this. It's absolutely delicious. It's not quite as good as sap, because sap, of course, is sweeter, but you can also just dump it. You can use it in any way you would use water. You can use it to make lemonade, make your hot tea, whatever you want to do with it. That's your permeate, and that is what you're done with. Then out of this tube on your 4th reverse osmosis membrane, first of all, this is a brass 1/4-inch needle valve that helps regulate your pressure over here. So if this is getting too high or too low, you can regulate that with your needle valve right here. But anyway, it's coming through here. This is now your RO'd sap that's coming into your collection tub or bucket or whatever you want to use for the RO'd sap, and then this is going to go into your pot or pan to boil it. Now, often we will take this and connect it with the clip right onto the pot that we're boiling in, just because then you don't even have to be standing here and watching it. You do want to check on it every once in a while to make sure nothing's overflowing or the pressure's all good and all of that. But you can actually hook it up to be pretty much self-contained and running on its own, which is an extra added bonus. So that is the reverse osmosis system that we built. You definitely can customize it to meet your needs in whatever way you want. I hope that I've answered your questions. I'm going to leave a link in the comments to the post that I mentioned that tells you everything you need to know to build one of your own. And you also will see there's a lot of Q&A at the end of that post. So hopefully if you do have a question, it's been asked and been answered there as well. If not, feel free to leave a question here because I really want to do whatever I can to help you make your backyard sugar making experience as less of time-consuming and expensive effort as I can help you make it. Because there is nothing more exciting than boiling tree sap and making your family's own all-natural sugar. In fact, it's one of the most rewarding things that we ever do as a family. So I want to do whatever I can to encourage you in that endeavor. I hope you're having a fantastic day in your